Hey guys, how you all doing? I do hope that you're doing well. So today's video is going to be a little different than videos that I've produced in the past. It's in regards to our daughter's '09 Toyota Camry LE, and what ended up happening is that she ended up hitting a patch of black ice, getting onto the expressway, lost control of her car, and ended up smashing into the guardrail. She was physically fine, walked away, with just being a little sore and everything like that. But mentally, it really shook her up real bad. And so in this particular video, I'm going to be tackling something that I've never tackled before, which is collision repair. As you know from any of my other videos, that I mostly do mechanical repairs, vehicle maintenance, maintenance around things around the house, stuff like that. This is like totally new to me. I don't want to say it's out of my league because I've never done it before, but I can tell you from research that I've done, this is like totally different. It even requires a totally different set of tools, which mostly I don't have, in order to be able to do it correctly. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you our daughter's car. Okay, so this is Scarlet Rose. That's the name that our daughter named her car. So, she's a really, really nice car, all red. She has I think a taupe color interior. This is an LE model. She bought it last year in 2023 in May. And as of the shooting of this video, this is January 26, 2024. So she's been driving it for, over 6 months and everything. She's a third-year college student, doing really well in college and everything like that. And she drives to Michigan, which is where she goes to school, and we live in Chicago. So it's roughly about a 260-mile drive one way. And she's been wanting a car for, ever since she graduated from high school. And she saved up her money for 2 years, and she paid cash for this car. She paid about $5,000 for it. At the time that she bought it, it had 200 and I believe 38,000 miles on it. Our daughter is the third owner. The previous owner took really good care of the car. There's like no dents on the car. The front bumper had a hole in it from hitting something, which I patched that up. There's no rust, underneath or on any other panels or anything. Everything on the inside worked. Mechanically, she runs great. She does burn some oil, roughly about maybe a quart every maybe 3,000-4,000 miles, something like that. It's hard to gauge it because she drives, all the time, and she doesn't really, keep records like that. So, this is her baby, here. And after the accident, she was really traumatized by it because not knowing, what was going to happen with her car. Well, as you see, the car is back in our garage, and I'll show you the reason why. Okay, so this right here is the driver's door. As you can see, there's plastic where the window would have been because the window got shattered. And as you can see, the door here, look at how it's been out. Sorry about the video. I'm in the garage because it's been raining outside. But here, let me try to see if I can. So if you can see right here, you see where these scratches are? That's where the guardrail would not hit her, but she slid into the guardrail. So it literally, look at it, it pushed this door all the way in. Look at that. Okay. Here, I'll show you this right here. See? Look at that. all right here. You can see right there. See how the door is. See, look at that. This is the inner panel here. It got damages, it got separated. I can't even tell if if the frame actually got bent or not. And then the other thing is look at this. I can't even unlock the door. Oh, I can unlock it, it'll unlock, but I can't open the door. So let me show you. So you heard it unlock, but can't lock it. I can't open it. So, in here, see, look at the way the door is. I mean, this thing is like, it's terrible. Look at that. And then, of course, this door here got scratched too. I guess it looks like the main impact was on this door here, and then the car was still moving, and the guardrail had slid back here because this door got damaged. You see, it's scraped down there, and look at all back here. Okay, and then down here, let me show you. And like this door is really hard to open, which it shouldn't be. There was a rocker panel cover down here, and that got knocked off. Fortunately, I couldn't recover that because I wasn't with her when it happened, and when I went to pick her up, she was at the hospital. Okay, all right, so here's the other thing. The side impact bag right here went off, so this seat here is damaged. That's got to be replaced. And then, of course, the side curtain airbag as well, which, let me take you on the inside so that you can see that better. Okay, so you see, so look at that. The headliner is pretty much useless now because of the airbag coming down. So this whole headliner needs to be replaced, along with the airbag and everything. Thank God that this one didn't go off. So the first thing that what I'm going to do is we're going to take Scarlet Rose to a collision company and just get an estimate on how much it will cost to get all of this, fixed. I'm guessing around $3,000, maybe $5,000. I'm not really sure because, again, I've never done collision repair, and I mean, this is a lot of damage. And then the other thing too, from what I've heard, is airbags cost a lot of money, and you can't just like go anywhere to get an airbag. You need to really try to do OEM or go to a company that specializes in installing airbags. So that's not even something that I can do. So we'll take her to the auto body shop, get an estimate to kind of see how much it will cost, and then we'll go from there. Oh, and then the other thing too, I forgot to mention this. So our daughter has comprehensive coverage only, which did not cover this. So any repairs, they're going to have to be done out of pocket, which is another thing. And like her being in school, and me and my wife, we're helping with her school as well. We're all kind of strapped for cash. We don't have that kind of money sitting around or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to see how this issue is going to be resolved. And I decided to, kind of help my daughter through this because, she just has no idea as far as how to go about getting her car fixed. Because the other thing is, like I was talking to her, is that if she tried to buy another car, she'll end up having to have a car note, which right now she doesn't have a car note. The other thing too is that, like, this is a Toyota Camry, and Toyota Camrys, especially for this year, I think this is the 5th generation of the Toyota Camry, is a really nice car. And being able to find one for a price that she can afford, whenever that would be, is really going to be hard. I mean, God really blessed her with this car. I mean, really. And it's like that's not even a factor, because the other thing too is that her insurance rates are probably going to go up as well, you know, because of this. We're not really sure, because she couldn't put a claim on the insurance because of the accident, but I'm willing to bet they're probably going to raise her rates on, you know. So with her being the age that she is, being pretty much a new driver, you know, her insurance rate's going to go up, so she can't even afford that. So yeah, you know, and I've been kind of thinking through it myself, just trying to see what it is that I can do, if anything, to try to help her out with this. Okay, so after seeing that quote from the collision place, wanting almost $12,000. $12,000. Oh, honestly, I didn't know what to say. I really didn't know what to say. I will show you the invoice, and they said that it will probably be more than that, because the reason is that this door, you know, once you open it, it's probably other damage in there, which they're probably right, and which that's going to jack up the price even more. So obviously, yeah, she can't get her car fixed there. And it's probably going to be a similar price if we went shopping around, in which we really don't have time for that, because she's back at school now. And her car is here in our garage, which means our minivan is out on the street, you know, which I don't really like that. We live in a safe neighborhood, but still, we have a garage, and our car should be in a garage. So I've been just, you know, praying about this, trying to think of how to go about fixing this, because this is like, it's like my problem now, because she's back at school, you know, and everything. And me and my wife is pretty much going to be paying to get this fixed. So our plan is to try to get this door replaced here. I can't open this yet, because I feel once I open it, it's not going to close. So I've got to figure out how to get another door. And then also I got to figure out how to get this door open, because they have what they call, I believe it's called a frame puller tool. That's what these collision places use. It's like this big, huge machine that they, you know, pull doors open that'll jam shut like this. And if this part was bent, they would use it to pull it back out. I mean, and those machines are like $2,000 and up. I'm not paying that kind of money, not for this. So that's the first thing, is to do that. We said we would leave this door alone because it still closes. You just have to pull on it real hard in order to open it. As in regards to the airbags is concerned, I can't replace that because of it being a safety feature, but then also I don't have any experience dealing with this kind of stuff. So that's out of the question as well. We'll have to pay some money to do that. As far as the headliner is concerned, I can pull that down to replace that, but that's going to be kind of like a last minute decision once we figure out what's going on with the door. And then in regards to the seat, not really sure about that one just yet. Still thinking through that one as well, especially the fact that because of the airbag on the side there. So yeah, I've got some homework to do, and boy, I tell you, this is really going to be something. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to be able to do all this. Ain't that something? Okay, all right. So I'll take you in the house so I can show you that invoice so that you can see everything that the collision place was going to replace and why the price was so much. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Okay, so here's the invoice from the collision place. It was printed on January 4th, 2024. This is a redacted version with the collision company info as well as personal info and the vehicle information blacked out. So what I want to do is I just wanted to kind of show you the breakdown of the pricing. Okay, the one thing I really liked about this invoice is they actually have it broken down. As you can see here, this one has the restraint system, seat and tracks, the roof, pillars, and so on, right? What I did was I just kind of highlighted a couple things, which I'm going to kind of zoom in. Okay, so like with the restraint system, for example, the airbags. So you got the side curtain airbag, which that is $830. Then you have the seat airbag, which is the side airbag. That's $574, okay, which it gives a total of $1,406. The seat, the driver's seat, as you can see here, they're not going to replace the entire seat. What they'll do is replace the seat back cover as well as the seat back pad. So the seat back cover is $733. The seat back pad is $202. And the reason for that is because, as you saw, that I showed you, the side airbag literally ripped through the fabric of the seat. So that's the reason why they have to replace that. Okay, so these two items here, plus the side curtain plus the side airbag within the seat, comes out to $1,615. Okay, just for that. Okay, but here, check it out though. So that rocker panel cover, that alone by itself is $339, and I'm not even sure if that includes it being painted. Now, let's see, the headliner, they're going to go brand new because, you know, the headliner's damaged, so it would have to be replaced. You can't really repair that. That's $1,536 just for that headliner board. And I'm sure it comes with the fabric on it too, but yeah, that's a lot of money. All right, so the last that I wanted to show you is the doors. So for the front door assembly, this is an entire door. I'm not sure exactly if it includes the glass in this and all of the sensors and all of that kind of stuff, because it doesn't really break it down, which you can read it here. But either way it goes, some of the things are listed here with a price and others are not. But roughly it starts at $650 for the front door. For the rear door, it's going to be $520. So both doors combined is $1,304. Down here, this gives a breakdown of pretty much everything. So parts, the total for that would be $6,571. Body labor, $2,037. Paint labor, $1,029. Mechanical labor, $416. Paint supplies, $735. Body supplies, $258, and whatever miscellaneous is, $13, which gives you a grand total of an estimate of $11,836. After seeing this invoice, seeing how much everything costs, now I see why a lot of insurance companies total out cars, because this is like crazy. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to be able to accomplish pretty much all of this on this invoice, but much less than this here. All right, so as you can see here, this is the driver's door, and what I'm going to do is, if you look right here, this right here, this is actually a steel rod that goes all the way through the door. I'm assuming it's in reinforcement, so you can actually see it right here. So my plan is I'm going to mask this off a square, and I'm going to use my metal saw to cut the metal. So what I can do is I can put my strap around this bar here, because it should be still affixed to the door, and then I'm going to use the come along strap, and hopefully that'll be solid enough to be able to pull the door loose. So I'm hoping it works. Yeah, I'm hoping it works, because as you can see, you know, it should be pretty easy. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the negative battery cable, because these doors have impact sensors. I'm assuming they probably all went off, but to be on the safe side, I'm going to take off the negative battery terminal, wait about 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start cutting. All right, so this is my inline cutoff wheel. So this is pneumatic, so I'm going to use this to cut around the square, and then I'm going to use my drill to drill in the corners, so that way with this cutoff wheel I'll be able to go to the corner and not go past that. So now you can see I drilled out all four corners, which will make it much easier for me as I use my cutoff wheel to cut the whole entire square out. So I'm all done. Got it all cut out, and as you can see, it's loose, and there you go. See, look how easy that was. Okay. So I had to be very careful when I was cutting around this part here to make sure I didn't cut the bar. This side wasn't bad because it was already bent out, which you can see the space there. But on this side, on this side, it was like right there. But as you can see, it shouldn't be a problem. And I could fit my finger all the way around, my hand all the way around. So this should work really good as far as put my strap around here to pull this door and unjam it. Here's the equipment that I'm going to be using to try to pry open the driver's door. So right here, this is called a come along, and this is rated for 10,000 pounds, and it's ratcheting, which you can see here. It's a ratcheting mechanism. The cable is 10 feet long, which is more than enough for me. And then I have two straps here, which I think it's 6.5 feet. Each one of them is 6.5 feet. So what I'm going to do is this strap is going to be wrapped around the tree, and then this end of the come along is going to be attached to both of those, because the tree is going to be the anchor point. And then this one is going to go through the door where that rod is, and then it's going to connect to this hook here, and then I'm going to ratchet it and open it up. So as you can see here, I got everything set up. I got the strap around the tree, the come along. I extended the cable out about maybe 4 feet. Mother strap. And guess what? Check this out. Okay, so you see how this is bent in, right? So I was trying to pull this out because I couldn't get the strap, the top part up here, because the strap is too thick, right? So guess what? Look at this. I got the door open just by doing that. Ain't that something? That's all I had to do to begin with. I could have did that in the garage. I could have even saved spending, I think this was about $75, but it's okay. I knew when I bought it, it would be a one-time use, or maybe I'll use it for things around the house. But it looks like there's damage right here on the main body right here. I'm not sure if this will interfere with the door closing or not, but it looks like everything up right here as well as on the side is fine. But this part right here, it's damaged here. Here's a better shot, because you see it's raised right here. So I'll when I get this door off, put the new one on, I'll be able to tell if that is the case. Worst case scenario, I could probably maybe beat this down, but I don't know, because this is some hard thick metal, because this is the actual car frame there. But I'm hoping that the door actually close. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I have to bend this piece of the door back towards the car more, because when I open the door, as you can see right here, it's rubbing up against this front panel here, and I can't open the door all the way in order to take the hinges off. So I'm gonna bang this in as much as I can, and then I'm going to remove the lock cylinder here, which should be pretty easy, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it and put it on the replacement door that we got, so that way we won't have to worry about, or she won't have to worry about having a different key, because this is the only key cylinder on this car. Toyotas, they only put one on the driver's door. They don't even put one on the passenger's door anymore. And then last is the mirror. The mirror still works. It doesn't look like it's damaged or anything. So I'm gonna remove this mirror off, and I'm gonna put it on the replacement door. And the reason why is because the replacement door, the mirrors broke off. So therefore I'm gonna just swap this one and put that one on there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to save this inner panel here. I'll have to see. I'm going to take it off anyway, just to make it a little easier, because right now it keeps rubbing up against this right here. This part of the inside of the door. So it makes it really hard to try to open it. So I'm going to remove it anyway, and I'm going to try to salvage as much as I can, but I don't think I'm going to be able to reuse it. And if I can, that's great. If anything, at least the switches, because the switches on this door here are in better shape as far as appearance wise than the replacement door. Okay, so got the mirror off, no problem. I think that only took about 5 minutes to do that. And then also the lock cylinder, got that off as well. I ended up breaking the cover here, because with the door being bent some, the lock cylinder didn't come out So I had to pry on it with a small pry bar, and then I broke this part off. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap the one from the replacement door, take that off, and then put it on this one here. Then this is the door panel. So after looking over it, there are some of these panel clips that actually broke off. I actually do have replacements, so that's not a problem. This is the door handle latch here, and as you can see, it kind of cracked there. Not a big deal. If I choose to reuse this, I'll just swap out from the old panel. But I think what I'm going to do, if that door panel is in great shape, better than this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move the switch over, because that's the one from what I saw when I looked at it is, kind of worn out. Everything. I was able to get the window seal, rubber seal back on, so that wasn't a problem. Then right here, it got cracked. So again, I'm not throwing this away yet. I'm gonna take a look and see, take the panel off of the replacement door and see the shape of it. The other thing that our daughter wanted to make sure, because she has an Infinity sound system, is the speaker. So I'm not sure if the door has that, but I'll know once I take that panel off to take a look, and if not, I'm gonna swap it out. And one last thing too. So this part here, I'm not gonna even have to worry about it. Well, okay, as of right now, okay, because check it out. See, I could close the door. Yeah, and I can open it pretty easy too. So I'm gonna test it out with the new door as well, because this door is damaged at the bottom. But hopefully that's the case, and I won't even have to touch that. It'll just be more of a cosmetic thing. But I will have to put some primer and paint on here, just because don't want that to rust. So I just wanted to show you how I'm going to remove the door, seeing I'm working by myself. So right here, this is a 440 pound hoist, which I have it attached to my paint rack here. It's got casters, swivel casters, all four, two of them locked. I have some straps that I'm going to put around the door, and I'm going to support it while I take the hinges off. So I just wanted to show you the hoist holding up the door. I'm about to take the hinges off. I'm not going to record this part, but I just wanted to just kind of show you how I have it. I wanted to have the strap go all the way around the door, but the problem is either my straps are too long or they're too short. So I had to kind of do it this way, so I'm hoping that this works out pretty good. All right, got the door off. It was actually pretty easy because I left the hinges on, so I just removed the door from the hinges, which those are really easy. But getting the connector off, this right here, that was a little more of a challenge. I thought all I had to do was pull this back and disconnect it from there, but no, this actually goes through this hole here, and then it's connected right here. Let me turn my light on. It's connected right there. See that? So I had to take the panel off here, which wasn't very hard. I had to take the panel, the kick plate, I guess is what it's called here too. But yeah, so so I'm gonna go ahead and get the other door and compare them just to make sure that they're identical. Okay, so here is the replacement door here, and over here is the original door. Don't forget, I already removed the side view mirror off of the door. This door that is actually identical. You can see that it has the chrome around the window there. Same over here. Style line up here. And the same on the original door. There's actually another style line right here. Probably can't see it. And it's the same on the original door here as well. And then down towards the bottom here, right down here, you may not be able to see it, but it bevels in and then out again. In which this door you can't really see it, but it is like that on that door as well. So, as far as I can tell, it's not perfect. Looks like there's something here. I don't know if that's dirt or not, a scratch. But there's definitely a scratch here, a scratch here, a couple scratches here. Looks like on the door right here that there's scratches there. Down here on the bottom, this is bent in a little, so I'm gonna hammer that out. Now let's see what else. The mirror is broke, but that's an easy fix. Take that off. As you see, they shipped it with the original hinges, which I'm actually going to just reuse the hinges that I already have on the vehicle there. Okay, and let's see what else. And these are the connectors here. Oh, I guess I should have took this off. Okay, well, I'll match these up to make sure that they are identical on there. And then what I'll do, I'll flip this around and show you the inner panel as well as the inner panel for the original door, just to make sure that they both match. Okay, so got the door set up. It's connected to the car, and wire connectors. I haven't put the hinges on yet because I wanted to see what's going on. So you can see the lights are on. So as you can see there, it indicates the door is open. And then we come up here to the light and it turns on. It's on the door switch. Okay. So because the key is in the ignition, the doors should automatically where you can't lock them. So see? So that works. All right, and then we'll do the window going up. And I had them to ship it with the window down so that it wouldn't get damaged during transport. All right, now let's see if the other windows work. Oh, this switch doesn't work. Okay, that one does for the rear window, see? Okay, and then this one is for this window here. That one works, but this one's broke. It's not moving at all. So, yeah. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and knock these dents out on the bottom. And then I'm gonna go ahead and install the door on the car. Okay, so got the door all the way installed, got the hinges all tightened up, and I don't know if it's the lighting in here in the garage, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell on the video, but it looks like this door is a little deeper red than the OEM door paint color. Not really sure, but it kind of looks like that to me. I guess once it's in the daylight, be able to tell you better. But check this out. So look, see here? Look how it's hitting the door here, right? There is no adjustments for the hinge, okay? So this door here, it was a great idea for me to go ahead and replace this, because if you look here, you see how big that gap is? And you can actually kind of see it a little bit up here too. So I'm gonna open this one. Since I move the stool out the way, I'm gonna open this one all the way, and you see it closes. Look at that. Look at that. No gap. No gap at all. And the gap right there is equal all the way around. But the one thing I did notice though is that this here, I'm gonna have to knock those down because it's hitting the door. So like when you see there's resistance there, you almost got to really slam the door in order to get it to latch. Okay, so I'm gonna try to start knocking that down, and yeah, I'm gonna call it quits for the night. And then next time I work, I'll start on this panel here and everything. So I am all done with this door now. As you can see, put on the side mirror, tested it to make sure that it works, as well as I changed the lock cylinder here. Okay, focus. So the original key actually works. See? Okay, and then the speaker was not a JBL speaker, so I transferred that from the OEM door to this one, which obviously you can't see that now. And then also the switch, I switched that out as well. And come to find out, this piece right here, this is actually a part of this whole entire thing. So I had to take that out. But it's all done. So the door, the rear door, is going to be coming tomorrow. So I'm going to get started with that, and I'll show you that door and show you all of the different things that I have to do with that. So I went ahead and I removed the rear door. It wasn't that bad. I think the thing that was the hardest was the wire connector, which is like right here. And this thing was like so hard trying to disconnect it with the door on. I had to have the front driver's door open, and there's a tab on this side here. You got to use like a really skinny screwdriver to push the tab down to pull it out. That took the longest. But outside of that, yeah, it was pretty good. So just waiting for the replacement door to come, and then I'll match it up and I'll go ahead and put it on. So here are the two doors. This is the OEM door, as you can tell from the scratches. This is the replacement door, and they're all identical. And as you can see, this one has the chrome trim around the window, just like the OEM one here. The style lines are the same. Because this door is on a hoist, it's in a different position, but the style lines are there. It's the exact same. And then also this piece here, it's pretty much the same on both doors. Let me turn them around so you can see the other side. Okay, so here's the inner panel, and both of them are pretty much identical. The only difference I see is the colors off a little bit. This one, the OEM one, looks a little darker in color compared to this one. But as far as any damage or wear marks, there aren't any on neither one of them. So just to save on the work, I'm just going to keep this panel on here, because you probably won't even be able to tell the difference once it's on the car and everything, because I think it has everything to do with lighting. So let me go ahead and get this door on, and then I'll come back. So here's an update. I got the door on. I'm gonna tell you, this rear door was a lot harder to put on than the front door here. a couple issues I ran into. One is that using the hoist with the straps, the door was kind of leaning out this way, which made it hard for me to line it up with the hinge that was already on the car. Second thing is that even though I put this on, right, there's still a little gap here, bigger gap than what it needs to be, right? Which means the door needs to come this way. But the hinges, they actually have slots, one on each hinge. Is a total of 4. And you can adjust the door, but the problem is that it's, at least the way I'm thinking about it, maybe it's because I'm tired, I'm having a hard time adjusting the door to try to make sure that it's back far enough this way, because this door can't close all the way, because you see, look, it's hitting it. And I'm thinking that maybe this door might need to be adjusted to go forward towards the front of the car some. So I'm going to think about that and everything, and then I'll try to make some adjustments and see if that makes a difference. But man, I've sat up there and I spent like almost an hour and a half, 2 hours trying to adjust this door back here. Not happy about that. Okay, so at this point in the project, I think it's been going along pretty good. The only issue I've had was with the doors being off a little bit, and just trying to figure out what exactly it is that's going on. I have some ideas of how to confirm if the doors are the same size as the OEM doors, and then 2, if this pillar over here that got damaged at the bottom, to verify if indeed it did get pushed in a little bit, which is actually throwing both doors off a little bit. So pray about that, and I'll see what God has to say about it. But what's going on next is I'm going to be removing the front seat, as well as removing the headliner, so that I can remove the side curtain airbag. So while I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the doors, I'm going to continue on with the other stuff, which will give me time, as well as waiting for those items to show up in the mail. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and remove the driver's seat. Should be just 4 bolts, 2 in the back and then 2 in the front. And to get to them, you just move the seat forward, and then move it back, and then disconnect the wires from underneath. And then once I'm done doing this, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start removing the headliner, so that when the airbag comes, all I got to do is just install it. Alright, so got the seat out, and actually it wasn't real hard. I was able to get it out in about 5 to 10 minutes. Quick tip, make sure the steering wheel is all the way up and all the way closest to the dash, so that way when you pull the seat out, you'll have room. Also, remove the headrest before you even start taking the bolts out. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn the seat sideways like an L, and then you're going to bring it out this way. And so there you go. So while I have the seat out, this should make it a little easier for me to remove the headliner, but also to check this pillar here to see if there's any damage to it, because I think this is off just a little bit, and that's the reason why this door is not all the way closer towards the back part, with this gap here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure the doors on the other side and compare them to these doors here first, and then I'm going to measure from the front all the way to the back and kind of see where this lines up. I don't know if that's going to work, but it's just an idea that I had to see. Okay, so check it out. I removed the headliner board, and yeah, it was a little challenging only because I've never done it before, and I could not find anything online of anyone removing this. I mean, it was really tripped out. So I got that done. Problem is though, I can't get this out of here. It's too wide for the doors. I'm thinking that the rear window has to come out in order for that to happen, and guess what, I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna just have to salvage this and reuse this one because yeah, I'm not going through all of that. That's just way too much. So if you look over there, you see the side curtain airbag that's been deployed. So I haven't checked to see how many bolts there are. There's some fasteners too, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this down, and I'm gonna show you this one laid out next to the new one that's going to be rolled up. So I just wanted to show you this. So this is the passenger side, the airbag that was not deployed, and that's pretty much what it looks like. Look how skinny it is. Isn't that something? So the one that's going to, the replacement that's coming should look similar to that one there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start removing the side curtain airbag, and I wanted to get up a little closer to kind of show you all of the things, the bolts and fasteners that have to be undone, but fortunately I can't do it because I can't remove the headliner, and I only got about maybe a foot and a half space over there, so it's going to be hard for me to even get over there without trying to damage the headliner board. So anyway, it looks like there may be 8 10mm bolts there. They also have a Phillips head on it, but you can use a socket. And then you got these fasteners here. I haven't tried removing them yet, but it looks like there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3. It looks like it's 3. It may be 4. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this out. And then this tube here, I was wondering about this here, and what I think this is, because it's on both sides, I thought it was a part of the airbag system, but I don't think it is. I think what that is a drain hose for the moonroof, which I don't understand why it's disconnected like that, but I'm gonna look into it. Here, let me zoom in. So you see right there, that green tube is supposed to be connected right there. Here, here's a better shot. So I'm gonna once I get the airbag out, I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna have to probably pop the trunk and see where that hose leads, but I think that's what that is. Okay, as you can see, the side curtain airbag is totally removed. It took me about maybe about 20 minutes, and most of it was due to the plastic fasteners, which I'll show you those. So this right here is what powers the actual pump to the airbag, so you got to make sure that you remove that. And I was able to reattach the drain hose there. I had to stretch it, but it apparently that's the way it was originally, and it probably popped off from the side impact. That's probably the reason why it came loose, because this side over here, see this one here, it's a different color, but it's stretched just as tight. So yeah, let me take you closer so I could show you that fastener for the actual inflator for the airbag. Okay, so this is it right here. So what you do is you just take a little screwdriver, pop this yellow lock fastener towards the rear, and then you just slowly pull it out of the actual inflator. And then here is the airbag fasteners here. So they're plastic, and what you do is you just take a flathead screwdriver and just pry this, you know, slowly up, and then what ends up happening is this whole black piece comes out. Then you're going to have to use a panel removal tool to pop this part out, because this actually is placed inside of the frame of the vehicle. And again, it wasn't that hard. These took the most time as far as removing the airbag was concerned. So the idea that I have in regards to the headliner board, because really it's the board, well, it's not just the board that's damaged, but it's also the fabric on the other side that's damaged too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some fabric tape, and I'm going to see if it'll be able to hold this together. I thought about hot gluing it. The problem with that is, though, is I think it's going to be messy, and it's going to probably bleed through on the other side, so I really don't want that. So it'll be right here, where else was it broke, and back there. So we'll see if that idea works. And I have it on order now, and I'm just waiting for it to come. But yeah, that's the idea that I had in regards to the headliner. Alright, so check it out. What I did was I put a zip tie on both sides on these drain hoses, because this started, when I closed the door, it started sliding off, and I don't want that to happen, because you know, once the headliner's back up, and if this thing pops off, you're not going to know it until it rains, and then water starts dripping on the inside of the vehicle. So yeah, I zip tied it, and it's secure now, and I did both of them that way. I'm surprised that they didn't do that at the factory. So I just wanted to show you the old side curtain airbag and then the new one. So on the top here, this is the new side curtain airbag. Okay, and as you can see, you see how it's all rolled up. One thing that's really interesting is that it's got these strings on here, which I don't know if you can see that, but these are supposed to stay on here. You don't undo this. I believe what this is for, this kind of keeps it rolled together. Here's the inflator here. The part number may be a little different when you buy a replacement, because this is the part number here, but it's a different one on here. So if you ever have to replace this, just give them your VIN number for your vehicle, and they'll go ahead and match it up with the right airbag. And as you can see, you have the fasteners here. This is a bracket on both of them so that it attaches to the side roof. Okay, same thing down here. So pretty much everything lines up. You know, it's in where it's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and install this, and then I'll show you it once it's installed. Alright, the side curtain airbag is all installed, as you can see here. It took about 10 minutes to do it. Just make sure that you connect the power to the inflator last, after everything has been all fastened and tightened up. Make sure that you use red Loctite on all of the bolts. If you forget, you'll know, because when you remove the bolts, you're going to see old dried up Loctite on there. So yeah, just clean them off and then just reapply some red Loctite on it, and then you're good to go. So now what I'm about to do, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping the board, so the headliner board, so I can go ahead and attempt to repair that before reinstalling it. So the idea that I had is I'm going to use this super glue tape here to try to tape up all of the areas where the actual board got ripped, and I'm hoping that, you know, this holds it together. Now it's not going to be perfect on the opposite side, the side that you'll see, because of the headliner fabric is torn, but I'm more concerned about the board more so than the actual fabric. So I'm gonna do it up here and then back there. So again, I hope it works. I'll let you see it once I'm done. So I'm done patching up the headboard, and these are the different areas I use the tape. So I mean, it's okay. It's better than what it was. Now, whether or not it stays together once I place the headliner back on the roof of the car, I don't know. But I did want to point this out to you because I don't believe I did this before. But in the back here, you have 4 fasteners that are holding the rear part of the headliner down. These are the map lights in the back. They actually are, I just kind of placed it back through the board because there was no way for me to detach it from the wire here, you know. But outside of that, they attach with some metal bracket. No, not metal, they're plastic, like right up in here. And towards the front, you have the map light, as well as you have the sun visor, which also hold it up. And then let me show you this. This is the sun visor lamp here. So this does come out, but I'm not sure how you get it out from underneath. But this is a little, you see this little clip here. So I would not try to remove this unless you really know how to do it. Like I said, it's kind of, I didn't want to tear up the headliner board when I was trying to remove this, so you know, I just kind of left it on there. And then if you have the moonroof, the actual cover that slides over the moonroof, it's actually affixed into the ceiling here. So it has its own mechanism in order to slide it back and forth. So that you don't have to worry about when it comes down. And then there's that piece there, which actually affixes around the moonroof hole here. That actually also holds this up to the roof of the car. Almost forgot. Also, there are 4 grab handles on the side of the roof, which also hold up the headliner board. And then also you have the different pillars, the one in the front, the one in the center, and then also one in the back, which obviously I haven't put it back on yet, but I'll show you that once I get it back installed. All right, I'm all done getting the headliner in, and actually wasn't too hard once I got it started. So as you can see, the dome light is on because the door is open. And let me open the back door. And as you can see, the map light is on in the back because the door is open. Let me go ahead and go on the passenger side so that you can see the part of the headliner that got damaged because of the airbag. Okay, so as you can see, as far as the headliner, you know, there's a rip there, and then also right up there. but you know, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. You know, right here you can kind of see where the fabric is kind of detaching from the actual headliner board. But outside of that, I think this is something that, you know, she can live with. Okay, so today I'm going to be working on trying to straighten the frame out. So I took measurements of the replacement doors, compared them to the OEM doors, which is on the right side, and both doors measures the same. So I know it's not an issue with the doors as to the reason why they both can't close at the same time without hitting each other. Other thing I did was I took a measurement of this gap right here on the front door, and then also on the passenger side, and this gap is a little bit bigger. This gap is 1/4 of an inch, and the one on the passenger side is 1/8 of an inch, so the gap is a little smaller. So I probably have to do a little adjustment with the hinges on this particular door here. But even with that adjustment, it's still not going to make a wide enough gap where both doors are not hitting each other. So I just wanted to show you this. So this is the damaged area and the driver's door, and I believe this got pushed back. And the reason why I said as one, because you see here, you see this here, look at how there's a space here, okay, but the rest of it is pretty much sealed, right? But then also, I don't know if you can make it out on the camera, but it's bulging like right here compared to the other side. Yeah, it's bulging. I'll show you the other side when I get a chance. Right now I can't because the headliner is more so on that side and I can't really get in there. Okay, so the way that I'm going to tackle this is I'm going to attempt to push this part out first, because I know this is dented, and we're here. Okay, and the way I'm going to do that, let me show you, is I have to remove the seatbelt tensioner, which is this right here, so that I can get up in there, which you can see. See, this is the metal here, right? So I'm gonna use this space right here to, which should be enough space for me to be able to get up in there to push this out. So once I do that, then I'm gonna work on this part right here. I'm not quite sure how far it has to get pushed out. I'm gonna have to do it a little at a time. So yeah, that's my thought process as of right now. But the main one I'm gonna do is this down here, because I know this is bent right here. Let me show you the tool that I'm going to be using to do this. Okay, so this is the tool that I'm going to be using. Got this off of Amazon. I think it was about $80 or something like that. And basically what it is, it's called a porta power jack. So basically what this is it works almost like a bottle hydraulic jack, except this is made specifically for straightening out frames and a whole bunch of other different things. This is rated for 10,000 pounds of force. And right here, this is the hydraulic pump here, And then this right here, this is the cylinder, kind of like the anvil. This is the part that actually extends outward and allows the force at whatever it's pushing up against to push it outward. And then we have all these different attachments here, which I'm not going to go through and list all of them because I don't know the names of all of them offhand, but I know it's in the owner's manual here. But I'll put a link in the description so that way you can look it up yourself. But what I do know is I'm going to use the rubber, this rubber, it's not a cap, but this piece right here, because I'm not trying to put an indentation in the metal as I'm pushing it out. And then also this is won't scratch up the paint or anything like that. So once I get it set up, I'll go ahead and show it to you. The other thing is, let me show you, is I'm gonna have to figure out a way to brace the cylinder because it has to be propped up against something that's not going to move. So haven't quite figured that part out yet. I'm thinking I could use a piece of wood, but again, I'm not sure because I'm not sure about how sturdy the center console is here. So yeah, I'll work through it, and I was going to try to film it, but I'm not going to try to because normally what you would do is you would remove the door off when you're trying to straighten out a frame so that there's no weight or anything on it. But because I'm trying to align the doors right and knowing how far out I have to go, I need the door to stay on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hoist to support the weight of the door so it's not on the frame as it's being pushed out. And because of that, my camera won't really be able to sit here because this door is going to be open, so yeah. Okay, so here's the setup. So there's the anvil there. I have a couple extensions on there, which you can see with the rubber mallet on the end. And I used a piece of wood to prop back here because this piece is pretty solid. Feels like it's metal. So I used that to brace it. So I've already done it because I actually forgot to come back and show you the setup before I started. But as you can see here, I pushed it out quite a bit. Actually, I pushed it out a little bit too much right here, which I'm okay with that. So the door, I actually didn't even use my hoist either. I just left the door, the rear door, I kind of just left it like this. So right now it's kind of off alignment. As you see, it's hitting right, you probably can't see it, but let me turn on my light. It's hitting right there, which it wasn't doing that before. So pushing that frame out, it actually made the door go off of alignment just a little bit. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to adjust it on the hinges, but when I do close it, see, check out the gap. It's much smaller. Yeah, it's much smaller. And I could close this door all the way. Now, I'm not done yet because one of the things I noticed is that, I don't know if you can tell, but this door is kind of sticking out a little more, which you can see that. But then also, well, I guess it does move, open up a little bit easier. But yeah, I need to adjust the door. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. But it actually worked really good. Yeah, it worked really good. I believe I still have to adjust this door here. And once I do that, then it should be pretty good. So right now, I'm done. stretching out the frame, and I'm going to focus on just trying to adjust the doors back again to kind of line it up. Okay, just wanted to let you know I am all done. I'm done straightening out the frame, and both doors close, and they also open much easier. The gap is still a little skinnier here than what I would like, but doing the adjustments that I did with the door hinges and everything, I'm pretty happy with it. I put the tape on here so that I could verify if the back door was rubbing, you know, when I open it. See? And so there's no paint or anything on the tape here, and the tape has been marred or anything. So that lets me know that this door is not hitting this one when it's closed. So, oh man, this is great. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and put everything away. I'm gonna take this tape off of here too and stuff. I'm also I gotta hook this door up because I did not do that because I knew I was gonna have to make adjustments. So I gotta verify to make sure that this window works and everything. So this was the biggest concern that I had, and this worked out. This worked out really good. So the other thing I actually did find was a rocker panel cover, the exact same color as Scarlet Rose. So I have that on order. It should be here sometime next week. So that'll probably be in about 5 days or so. But outside of that, yeah, that's really the only thing that's really left that I have to do outside of putting in the seat. I got to verify that too to make sure that that's functioning the way it's supposed to as well. So I'm all done installing the replacement driver's seat. Everything went well, you know, pretty easy, you know, making connections and everything. And also, you know, I shampooed it, you know, because it came from someone else's car. The only issue is the faded seatbelt, which I guess that may be a good thing because that means they were using it a lot, but it looks also like maybe they used a harsh chemical on it to clean it. But it's okay. Tested all of the functions before I bolted it down, and they all work just fine. And this one, as you can see from the tab, adds a side airbag in there. So this is all good. All right, so oh yeah, check it out. I bought her daughter a steering wheel cover. I just happened to be in AutoZone picking up some other stuff, and I saw this, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna pick that up for her because the steering wheel is really cold in the wintertime, and she kind of complained about that. She had another cover for it. It was one of those feather ones, kind of like the ones that you see on women's hoods, and it was just way too much because it blocked out the instrument cluster there. So I told her she needs to take that off, and so I bought this, and it's literally the same color as the interior, so I think she's going to really like that. So anyway, when the rocker panel comes, rocker panel cover comes, I'll go ahead and show you that. So the rocker panel cover came in, and as you can see, it's the same color as the rest of the car. So this is the top part, obviously. From what I can tell, it's held together or held onto the vehicle. There's two mounting screws, one here and then one all the way back there. And then when you look on the inside, this is the top of the rocker panel. This faces up. As you can see, there's fasteners in here. Okay, on the top part, and then this is the bottom part that faces the ground. you see where these holes are? There's like, I think there's 7 of them. There are plastic connectors, which is like this one here. I pulled this off of the passenger side because I needed to match up the correct one in size, because when the OEM one got ripped off, it took all of these with them, so there were none on the bottom of the rocker panel. These are all left on the car on the frame, so I'm gonna just pull those out, and I'm gonna just use these that are on here, and just reuse the screws. And then this is the foam that goes inside. I'm not quite sure exactly where it goes. I'll figure it out, but this is supposed to go inside of it. So yeah, let me go ahead and get started with this and get this on. It really shouldn't take that long. I'm guessing maybe 30 minutes or so. All right, I am all done. So it was actually pretty easy. I think the hardest part was trying to line it up with all of the holes and everything. But once I was able to do that and get the foam in the correct spot, in the right position, it was pretty easy. So I'll just show you. So see, and check it out. You know, just a little scratch there, but you know, you're not going to be able to see that. But as you can see, it's fitting up tight against the actual frame of the car here. Even the part that got hit. See, check it out. You know, and then here's the back as well. So see, check it out. Look at that. Perfect color too. Yeah, perfect color. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish doing this tire rotation. I'm actually done. I just gotta put the wheels back on because I wanted to leave them off so that I can put the rocker cover on, and then I'm gonna take her to the shop to get her wheel alignment checked, and then I'm gonna get her washed. And then what I'll do is I'll come back in the daylight and show you, you know, how she looks and everything like that. Because, you know, right now I'm in the garage and the lighting isn't doing justice for the repair. Okay, so I am all done with this project, and I will say that, you know, I am totally satisfied with the end result. As you can see, I went on ahead, got her washed and everything, and you know, she looks good, as you can see here. And being in the daylight, you can, you know, see the door, both doors, the rocker panel. Doesn't even look like she was in an accident. You know, this part right here where the scratches are, it's not something I can deal with right now because it's too cold. Like today, it's about 33 degrees outside. Another thing too, with getting the wheel alignment, which I knew this when I got there, is that 2 of the tires were really low on tread and need to be replaced. But I had moved those from the front to the back, and the 2 tires that were on the front were kind of like in the, I don't remember the actual tire depth reading. I'll put it in the video, but it was in the yellow. And the place that did the alignment said that they, on the recommendation, they couldn't do it because of the tire tread wear was too low on all the tires. So turned out that we ended up getting 4 new tires, which was a blessing for her. So because she really needed tires and everything. So all in all, it turned out real well. So right now, I am actually heading up to pick up our daughter from school. She's on spring break, and I am driving Scarlet Rose up there. I'm actually going to surprise her. She doesn't know that I'm bringing a car up there, so I know it's going to be a real big surprise. When I get back, I'll get all the numbers together as far as how much everything costs and everything. I was hoping to be able to do that before I shot this part of the video, but I found out like last week that my daughter was going to be coming home for spring break. I actually thought it was going to be later in the month of March. Today is actually March 2nd. So I was, trying to really get everything together, and I just didn't have time to take care of that. But outside of only the airbag light is still on, and I speculate the reason why is because the SRS module may need to be changed. I used my scan tool. I pulled up all the codes and I erased everything and reset everything, but the light is still on. So I'm probably going to just take it to the dealer, have them scan it with their scan tool, because theirs is so much more sophisticated. And then they'll tell me, pretty much what it is, what's going on and everything. But outside of that, yeah, she drives great. Yeah, this is really a great car. So yeah, when I get back, I'll go ahead and I'll get all of that stuff for you, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on everything. So this is the company that I'm going to be using to have the airbag module reset. It's called MyAirbags. This is the web address. This is their main homepage, and it gives a lot of information about the company itself, the process that they use to reset modules. It also has right here where you can plug in your vehicle information so that you can get a quote as to how much it's going to cost to reset the module. Down here is a listing of different things that they either reset or repair, so it's not just airbag modules or anything. And then this is a helpful video. I forgot how many minutes it is. It's real short, but it explains the process of why you should choose them, the process of how the module is reset, and it also explains how they save you money. So if you go to the website, browse through it. It's really good, self-explanatory. You should be able to understand it really easy. And the things that I really like about this company is, one is that they save you a lot of money. I mean, hundreds of dollars resetting your module. The second thing is that according to their website, it's plug and play. So basically, once you send your module out to them, they reset it and they send it back to you. You plug it back into your vehicle and it just works like as if nothing happened. And the last thing is that they claim to have a 24-hour turnaround period from the point that they receive the part to reset it or repair it, and then to send it back to you. So these were key features that really stood out to me about this company outside of the reviews, and why I chose them. Okay, so just wanted to show you that the SRS light is still on even after I cleared all of the soft codes off of the SRS module. The reason why this is still on is because there's crash data on the module to which my scan tool can't access, so I can't clear it to reset the module. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to remove the module, which from doing my research is somewhere back here in the dash. So I'm going to have to remove all of this here in order to access it. I'm going to send it into a company called MyAirbags, and they'll reset it to factory specs, send it back to me, and once it should be a plug and play. I install it, and then the airbag light should go off. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull Scarlet Rose in the garage, and then I'm going to show you on my scan tool codes that popped up, and then to show you that I erased all of that, but the airbag light is still on. So my advice, if you're going to be doing any kind of repair with the airbag system and the light is on, remove the airbag module first, send it in to get it reset if you can't do it yourself, so that while you're doing the repairs, they'll go ahead and reset the device, and then that way you can put it back in instead of having to drive around without the airbag system being able to be used, because as long as this light is on, the airbags will not deploy in an accident. Okay, so this is the scan report that I did on what is this, February 29th, 2024. Okay, this mileage is not correct. This was a default in there and I forgot to change it, and also this is actually a PDF, so it's a save. So as you can see here, these are the different codes that popped up for in regards to the SRS module. There were no other codes that were there. So this basically let me know everything that was wrong that needed to be repaired, which I did that. So let me show you the actual results for a more recent scan that I did in June. So this is a scan I did on June 3rd, 2024. As you can see, this was the mileage that I did it. This was the only code that popped up, which there isn't anything wrong with the sunroof. It pops up every now and then, but as you can see, the SRS system, after I cleared the codes, everything was fine. So even though the soft codes are clear, the crash data is still on there, which is the reason why the light is still on. Okay, so got the module out. It wasn't really that hard. My suggestion is to make sure that you take a picture of it, because you want to make sure when you send this off that you get the correct one back, because it has important information. So this is the module number here. So make sure you take a picture. Let me go inside the vehicle so I can show you a couple things. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you disconnect the negative battery terminal. I end up doing the positive one, but either one, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the space down in the dash where the module is. This is the connector for it right here. In order to take off, to unhook the actual cable to it, you have to pull this back. There's a little tab here. Push that down, then you pull this back, and then you can pull it out of the module. As you see, I had to take the carpet down on both sides in order to get to the two rear bolts. It helps if you take out, there's 3 screws. It's one in here, there's one right here, and there's one right here on both sides. What you want to do is use some kind of panel removal tool, because there's like a little indentation on the bottom of this that fits in this little spot here. So you want to pop that out, and then you can move this back, and makes it a little easier to pull the carpet down. Okay, and these are the bolts. So it's one on, this is the driver's side here, and then there's one on the passenger side. There are 13mm bolts, and you can use a regular 13mm, either a deep socket. No, actually, no, not a deep socket for this one, a shallow socket for this one. And for the one that's on the on the front, this one up here, I had to use a flex head ratchet with a deep socket in order to remove it. And really, the bolts aren't torqued real tight, so once you break it free, you can screw it out with your fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and put all this back together so that my daughter can still drive her car while the module is being reset. So I got the SRS module back from MyAirbags. This is the packaging that it came in. All I did was open the box, but I haven't gone inside of it yet, just so that you can see how it's packaged, because that's very important with this being an electronic component. you want to, make sure that it's packaged well when they send it back to you. So I sent it out on a Thursday, and I received it back on the following Saturday. So it took a little bit over a week, but it took about 3 days for it to get there. But once it got there, they actually was done with it within 24 hours. And then, of course, when they sent it back to me, that took about another 3 days. And it cost around $105 total, which included shipping to them as well as shipping back to me. So they gave me some information here. I'm surprised they didn't use any bubble wrap, but this is the module here. Let's get this open and check it out. So I'm going to verify with my photo to make sure that this is the correct one. As you can see there, they put an OK on here, so I'm assuming they tested it to make sure that it was reset. Alright, so let's go inside the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead, after I verify that this is our module, I'm going to go ahead and install it. Here is also, I guess you could say this is kind of like a receipt showing what they did. This is actually really helpful. It was actually in the bottom of the box, and I didn't show it to you because I didn't realize that this is what it was. But this is some really helpful info about the module. I did notice on here that this sticker's on here, and I don't remember if this was on here before I sent it in or not, because I didn't take a picture of this side. But I did confirm that this is our module. The other thing too that I really like about this company is that they sent me updates by text, like when they received it, when they started working on it, when it was actually on the bench, while they were bench testing it. They really kept me up to date with all of that, and that was so much appreciated. And even to the point where they actually sent it out. I didn't have to pay for it until after the module was reset, which is another good thing. Obviously, make sure you have the money on hand prior to sending it off, but they didn't request money until after they were done with it. Alright, so got the module back in. I haven't put everything back together yet because I just wanted to show you to starting up for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead, get the key in, I'm going to start her up, and we'll see if the airbag light goes off. So there you go, airbag light is off. The door is still open because I got my hood light in here, so with the hood light I can't close the doors because it's connected on the roof. So I'm gonna do another diagnostic just to show you that everything is all good, and then I'll go in the house and we'll talk about numbers and the time that was spent for me doing this job. So here's a PDF of the diagnostic report that I ran with the SRS module removed. Note the mileage up here, 251,280 miles. This is the Camry here, and these are the only fault codes that popped up with the SRS module removed. And like I said, I was just kind of curious as to see what would pop up. As you can see, all of the other modules were just fine. So with this diagnostic report, this is what came up after I installed the SRS module after it was reset. Now mind you that the SRS light did go off like right away, which you saw that, but these were the codes that popped up here. So look, so check this out. So what you could do is you can pause the video and read each one of these. I didn't even realize that the SRS module had this many diagnostic trouble codes that could pop up. But the good thing is that it actually tells you, pretty much points you in the right direction as to where you need to look. Now, my guess is the reason why all these popped up is because the module was reset, and maybe it just didn't have enough time to resynchronize itself to the PCM and everything like that, because none of these have popped up even after the airbags were deployed. So that's my guess with this. So all I did was I went ahead and cleared all of these codes out and reran the diagnostic report, which I'll show you that right now. So if you look at this diagnostic report, you'll see that there were no fault codes. Now this was after I cleared everything, but also she was driven for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so. And as you can see, number 5, which is SRS module, no codes popped up. So I just wanted to show you those just so that you would see for yourself what happened to me, in case it happens to you, that you won't panic about it, and that all you do is just, clear all the codes, drive, note if the SRS light comes back on, because if it does come back on, then you got a problem. But that is probably normal that those codes will pop up after you reconnect the SRS module. And then also another thing too, our daughter was driving her car without the SRS module in the car, so that could also be another reason why that happened. So here are the totals for the time spent as well as money spent in regards to this entire process of repairing our daughter's car. So as you can see here, it took me 18 days. I broke down each day the hours that I actually worked and how many hours. So to total it all out, I rounded it up to a total of 38 hours. And I'm going to tell you right now, oh man, it seemed a lot longer than that while doing all this. It really did. I really thought that I spent way much more time doing this repair. I'm guessing that with this, that probably would have taken maybe 7 days if I worked, 8-hour days, 6 to 8 hour days, but these are total hours that it took. And as I scroll down, let me see here. Here is the parts list here. So the total came out to $3,192. The total shipping came out to $676, because most of the parts, like the doors and stuff, that cost a couple $100 just to ship that here to the house. Now numbers 7, 8, and 9, these had nothing to do with the actual collision, but I still included it because it was still money that we ended up paying anyway. And then down here is a total on the price for the actual tools that I had to buy. Now there were some other tools in the video that are not listed on here, and for the most part I already had those tools, so I didn't count them. I didn't count them in here. Like for example, my painting rack, I already had that, so that wasn't included into this. These are all the tools I actually had to buy for this particular job, and that came out to $206. So when you look at all of this, as far as the time spent, the dollars that were spent, and the fact that our daughter is able to drive her car as if nothing happened, to me it was well worth the time and the money that was spent, as opposed to the alternative of trying to buy another used car, and even taking the time to have to do all the research and do all of that kind of stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up my camera, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Okay, so to wrap up this very long video, I wanted to say first, thank you for making it to this part of the video. I know it was very long, and honestly, I really didn't realize how long it was until after I started doing my editing. I still feel that everything that's in the video is very helpful, and I'm hoping that, you know, it blessed you. My final thoughts on this is that collision repair is really a tough field to be in. There are so many unknowns that you really can't prepare for. Since this was my first time ever attempting something like this, it was very challenging, and at first it was kind of overwhelming, until I started to pray about how to go about tackling what it was I was trying to achieve, which was our daughter's car being back on the road. Once I started to do research, I started narrowing things down. What I initially thought that I was going to be doing as far as sourcing the parts, that didn't work out for me, but it actually was a blessing, because I was able to get all of the parts from off of eBay, which that really helped. It helped out a whole lot. It saved a lot of time, and even saved a lot of money and aggravation. It was fun for me in the sense of being able to learn a new skill. And would I do this again? Probably not. You know, this is not something that I would really want to do for either our cars or for someone else again. But I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to be able to learn a lot, as well as being able to make this video for you, and hoping to encourage you and inspire you that maybe you may not go and fix your own car, but it'll let you know that, hey, it is doable. That you do your own research, you kind of, and if you have the money and the time, you have the space, also have a second car to drive while you're doing the repairs, that it may be well worth your money. So I'm hoping that you will post some helpful comments in the comments section. I would be greatly grateful for that. Share this video with as many people as you can. And again, I want to thank you, and you guys have yourself a blessed day. Until next time.